Hey everyone, this is Nikita from Parcel Tracker, and today I'm going to show you guys how I'd set up my account for hospitals and healthcare environments. Hospitals receive all kinds of deliveries every day, from medical supplies and equipment to sometimes even personal deliveries for staff. However, many hospitals are still handling all of this manually, and in an environment where timing really matters, even small bottlenecks can affect how smoothly teams work and ultimately patient care. Parcel Tracker aims to speed up the intake process and make it easier to track parcels as they move throughout the hospital. Our multi-mailroom workflow is designed for hospitals that operate across multiple interconnected buildings, like different departments, different wards, and specialized units. By the end of this video, your parcel management workflow should look something like this.
Parcel arrives at the building. I can scan parcels with my phone camera using the Parcel Tracker mobile app. From the In tab, we'll press Check In, then hold the camera over the label and press and hold the button to pick up both the name and the barcode. We can add tags, assign the parcel a storage location, and also write notes. Parcel Tracker auto-extracts images from the scan, but we can add additional photos if needed. I can do this for multiple parcels in a row. Press Save to add the parcel to your cart and continue scanning. This is our second parcel label. Again, we'll press and hold the button to pick up the name and the barcode. If the app fails to do both, it'll pick up the name first and then prompt you to scan the barcode. Then we can add tags, assign the parcel a storage location, write notes, and get an additional photo if needed. Press Save to add the parcel to your cart and continue scanning. This is our last parcel label. You can also add recipient information manually. Start by selecting the recipient. If the parcel has a barcode, then you can scan it, but you can also add a manual identifier if needed. Press on the pen icon in the lower left corner. Then you can input a manual identifier or select the dice to create a randomly generated one. We recommend marking this number on the parcel. Press the check mark to create the parcel log, and then you can add tags, assign the parcel storage location, write notes, and get a photo of the parcel. Press Save to add the parcel to your cart. When you're done scanning all the parcels, open your cart in the lower right corner, and then press Check In. Those parcels will now be signed in. If I have an internal courier who can move parcels between sites, he'll go to the Move tab, select Pickup, select the site where he's picking up the parcels from, and then he can either scan the parcel labels, or he can select them from the cart. When he's done scanning or selecting, he'll press Pickup. Those parcels will now be marked as handled. When the internal courier reaches the next site, he'll select Drop Off, and again he can either scan the parcel labels or select them from the cart. Then he'll press Move and select the site where he's dropping off the parcels to. Those parcels will now be checked in at that site. The internal courier can also deliver parcels directly to the end recipient. Again, he'll press Drop Off, and he can either scan the labels or select them from the cart, and select Drop Off. He can get a signature to confirm delivery, and he can also add notes and a photo of the person collecting the parcel. When he's done, he'll press Complete Checkout to sign out the parcel. When the parcels are checked in, the recipient will receive a QR code in their email which they can use to collect their parcel. They'll need to present this QR code to collection staff. When recipients present their QR code, staff will go to the Out tab, select Checkout, first scan the QR code, and then scan the parcel that the recipient is going to collect, or select it from the cart. Then you can press Checkout. Optionally, you can add a signature, notes about the collection, and a photo of the person collecting the parcel. When you're done, press Complete Checkout. Those parcels will now be signed out.
The first thing I'd want to do is to create my Parcel Tracker account, and to do that just go to parceltracker.com and select Start for Free to create your free account. Here's what your dashboard will look like upon signing in, and before anything else I want to show you guys how you can customize your account, and to do that we'll go to Settings, and you'll be able to edit your company name, add your company logo, and even add your address if needed. To edit your company name, just enter the new one, and to upload your logo, click on Upload Logo, select the file from your device, crop the image as needed, and when you're happy with the changes, click Save Changes. While we're here, there's a feature that I want to enable, so let's go to Features under Configurator, and I want to enable Additional Parcel Details. This feature will allow you to add things like tags, assign the parcel a storage location, and even get additional photos of the parcel so that you know what it looks like. This also gives you a parcel log which you can view at any time from the dashboard or from the app. In busy environments like hospitals, this can really help staff stay organized and prevent parcels from going missing. The next step would be to set up our sites, so let's go back to the dashboard and select Sites. I want you to think of each site as a different delivery point within the hospital. So this can be the mailroom, receiving bay, receptions, and package rooms. To add a site, click on Add Site, enter the name and then any of these optional details. To edit the site's information, hover over the name and then click Open. You can change any of these details. And Parcel Tracker will automatically save the changes. To set a site as active, click on the little box next to the name, and then click Set as Active. You can even delete the site if needed. Once these sites are created, Parcel Tracker will allow you to scan items from the main mailroom and then route them to different sites. Every time that an internal courier will move parcels between different buildings, Parcel Tracker will log each handoff. This way you'll have full visibility into where parcels are as they move through the hospital. The next step would be to upload our recipients, so let's go to Recipients. And you can either bulk upload recipients using a CSV list, or you can add them in individually. The reason why we want to upload a recipient list first is because Parcel Tracker will use this data to match parcels to the correct recipient and notify them at the same time. Parcel Tracker can now read labels for recipients who don't currently exist and will give you the option to create a new one. However, it's still best to start with a recipient list first so that you can quickly scan in parcels without having to slow down to add a new recipient for each one. First, I want to acknowledge any concerns regarding data security. Parcel Tracker is ISO certified, GDPR compliant, and we regularly undergo penetration testing and third-party security audits. If you want to request any of our certificates, go to parceltracker.com/trust-center. We'll start by bulk uploading recipients, and to do that, we'll click on Import List. And then you can either download a template, which you can fill in, or you can select an existing file from your device. Here's what that template looks like. You'll see that there are some optional fields, but the most important ones you'll need would be the recipient's first name, their last name, their email. The reason why we need their email is because Parcel Tracker will use it as the primary notification platform. And finally, their location. So in a hospital, this can be a department, a ward, a specific room number, and their floor. Since we're using the multi-mailroom workflow, I also want to fill in site and additional site. For site, you want this to be where the recipient is located in. And for additional site, you want it to be the main touchpoint, which in this case would be our main mailroom. Here's my sample recipient CSV list. Again, their location will be their specific department or room. Their site is listed as the building where that room is located in. An additional site is listed as the main mailroom or the main clinical building for all of them. If I have an internal courier who can deliver parcels directly to the end recipient, I also want to add in their drop-off location. Later on, when my internal courier is making deliveries, he'll be able to see where each parcel needs to go. When your CSV list is ready, we'll select Browse File. Select the file from your device. Tick this box that says you have permission to upload data. Click Continue. Make sure that each column is mapped out to the correct property, and here's an example of when I encountered an error. In this example, unit which I used to define room numbers was not recognized as the location, so all I had to do was select the correct property, and in this case it would be the location. When you're done, click Continue. Review the data. You can even make any last-minute changes from here. And when you're done, click Continue. And finally, upload the data. Parcel Tracker will show you if there were any errors during the process, if there were any duplicate recipients, or if any recipient data was updated from an old CSV list. So now let's view all recipients. You'll see that they've all been added. Since ID and alias are empty, we can hide them. Just hover over the field, click the three dots, and then click hide. Next, I'm going to show you how to upload recipients individually, and to do that, click on Add Recipient and enter the necessary details. When adding recipients individually, don't forget to fill in their site and additional site. Again, their site will be where they're located in, and additional site should always be the main touchpoint. When you're done, you can click Add and create another to add a new recipient, or Add to close the window. The next step would be to set up my scanning devices. Since Parcel Tracker is a mobile app, I can use a phone or a tablet. Apple or Android will both work. But for best performance, we recommend using an iPhone SE or an Android with 6GB of RAM and a 2.8 GHz processor. You can have designated devices in each site, or you can have staff download the app onto their personal phones. And if so, you can add them in as Mailroom users. So to do that, we'll go back to Settings and select Mailroom Users. Then click Invite User. Enter the necessary details. You can even select their permission levels if you just want this person to be able to scan in and scan out parcels, maybe add and edit recipients, then invite them as normal. But if you want them to have more control over the sites and the features, then add them as admin. Since we're using a multi-mailroom workflow, we can also select their site access. Mailroom or logistics operators will typically have access to all of the sites, but if, for example, this person will only be handling parcels for one building, then you can select just that building. When you're done, press Send, and this person will receive an invite to become a user on your account. The next thing I want to do is to set up my tags, so let's go to Tags under Configurator. Parcel Tracker already has some default tags, but you can add more as needed. In a hospital, I can use tags to identify the type of parcel I'm handling or where it needs to go. So for example, I can use tags like cold storage, pharmaceuticals, lab equipment, or I can use routing tags like per department or per ward. To create a tag, click on Add Tag, enter the name, and then you can even select a custom color so that's easier to see. The next step would be to set up my storage locations. Let's go to Storage Locations. As mentioned prior, when you scan a parcel through Parcel Tracker, you can assign its storage location. Storage locations can look different depending on your building's workflow. Some buildings might have 2 storage rooms or 2 package rooms, but in most cases, buildings only have 1 package room for the entire building. If this is the case for you, we really recommend narrowing it down to each shelf, each aisle, each row, each locker if you use locker, any specialized compartments, just so that parcels are easier to locate when the recipient is ready to collect. You'll see that I have all of my storage locations set up for the main mailroom, but I can switch sites if needed. So for example, let's go to the outpatient building. Just click on this top bar, select the building that you want to go to, and you'll be able to customize the locations for that site. And to add a location, click on Add Location, enter the name, and then click Save and add another to add a new one, or Save to close the window. The next step would be to set up my recipient notifications, and to do that, we'll go to Inbound Notifications. Again, when a parcel is scanned in through the Parcel Tracker app, recipients will automatically get a notification telling them to collect their parcel. When a recipient collects their parcel, they'll also receive a confirmation email. Through the web platform, you can customize the contents of these notifications, set schedules, and even set up reminder notifications. On the left bar, you'll see a list of all of your sites. This is useful if you need to configure custom notifications for each one. In the center, you'll see a table showing you all of your active notifications for the selected site. So you'll see its name, the type of notification it is, which channel it's active in, and which other sites it's used in. First, I'll show you how to add your branding to a notification. To do that, click on Global Style. You can upload your logo. You can even set the logo size. And you can customize the background and accent colors to match your branding. When you're happy with the changes, click Update. All notifications will now inherit this style. Next, I'll show you how to customize your notifications, but first I want to show you the types of notifications that Parcel Tracker has. Check-in or delivery notifications are what the recipient will receive when the parcel is first scanned in. It will tell them to collect their parcel and give them a QR code which they can use upon collection. Checkout notifications are collection emails, basically confirming that the recipient has collected their parcel. Reminders can be set so that recipients pick up their parcels in a more timely manner, but this might not be needed if you have internal courier who can deliver parcels directly to the end recipients. You can also set up welcome notifications for recipients who have recently been added to your Parcel Tracker account. And for multi-mailer workflows, you also have move in and move out notifications. These trigger whenever a parcel is moved in or out of a specific site. So if, for example, I'm moving a parcel out of the main mailroom and into the outpatient building, I'll get a notification for that. Now I'll show you how to edit a notification. Just hover over the template that you want to edit and then click open. On the right, you'll see a preview of what the notification would look like. And on the left, you'll be able to edit the contents of the message. You can change the notification's name, enter a completely new message, and you can add or remove any of these variables. You can also choose to display advanced parcel details. This will show the recipient things like notes, who the courier was, and when the delivery arrived. When you're happy with the changes, click Submit. And that will have updated the template. Now I'll show you how to create a new template. So we'll click on Create Template. And let's say I want to set up reminders. Again, you can change the template name, the contents of the message, and for reminders, you can actually also set a reminder delay and a maximum number of reminders. When you're happy with the changes, click Submit. You'll have successfully created the template, but it's actually not yet active in your site. So to do that, we'll click on Assign Template. Select the template that you want to enable. And now it's been added to your site. If you have multiple sites and you want to add the template to each one, then don't worry, you won't have to manually do it. All you have to do is hover over the template that you want, click on the three dots, and then click Assign to Sites. You can toggle multiple sites, all of them, and even just one site. From the menu, you'll also be able to schedule, duplicate, remove, and delete notifications. So let's try scheduling a notification. Click on Schedule. Scheduling can be done if you need a buffer between scanning in parcels and then notifying the recipients. This is especially useful in high volume environments where you need all parcels to be signed in before you can accommodate collections. So to set schedule, click on Enable, and then set your delay, and click Update. Now that everything's set up, it's finally time to start scanning in some parcels. You're now looking at my phone screen, and I first want to show you guys where you can find Parcel Tracker on the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store. So whichever one you're on, go to Search, look for Parcel Tracker, select Parcel Tracker Mailroom, and this is the app that you want to download. And once that's done, you can just sign in with your account details. Here's what the app looks like, and before we start scanning in parcels, I want to show you guys these 5 tabs. The first one is In, which is what we use to scan in parcels. Out to scan out parcels, Move to move parcels between sites, Manage to manage parcels, recipients, and users, and Settings to access our live chat support, our online knowledge base, and configure the features and scanning mode. I moved my phone screen a bit to the right so that I can show you guys a flowchart of where parcels are currently at in your workflow. Now let's say that parcels have arrived to the main mailroom. I have some sample labels here. When you're ready to log in the parcels, we'll press check-in, hold the camera over the label, and then press and hold the button to pick up the name and the barcode. Since we enabled additional parcel details earlier, we'll be able to assign tags, assign the parcel a storage location. We can also add notes, and Parcel Tracker auto-extracts images upon the scan-in, but you can add additional photos if needed. This can be useful for larger parcels, so you can take a wider photo so you know what it looks like. Just press on the image. You can take a photo or select one from your gallery. We'll just press take a photo, and then you can take a photo as normal. And when you're done, press save. This adds the parcel to your cart, and you can continue scanning. You can scan multiple parcels in a row. Here's my second parcel label. Again, we'll press and hold the button to pick up the name and the barcode. If for any reason the app fails to do both, it'll pick up the name first and then prompt you to scan the barcode. So let's try scanning the barcode. And again, we can assign tags. We can add a storage location. And we can get an additional photo. And then press save. Again, this adds the parcel to your cart, and then you can keep scanning. But I want to show you guys how you can also manually add parcel details. This is useful if for any reason the label is unscannable, like maybe it's covered in stickers, or maybe the name is misspelled on the label. We'll press select recipient. Let's look for our recipient. And then if the parcel has a barcode that you can scan, then you can scan it. But you can also add a manual identifier, and to do that, we'll press on this pencil icon. You can add a random one, or you can press the dice to generate one. We recommend marking this on the parcel. And when you're done, press the check mark. And again, we can assign tags. Assign the parcel storage location. And get a photo of the parcel. When you're done, press save. And now let's say that you've scanned in all the parcels. We'll press on the card. You'll see a preview of all the parcels you've scanned in. If you want to edit any details or if you want to delete a parcel, then swipe left. Then you can choose either of these. And when you're done, press check-in. Those parcels will now be checked into your account. Next, I want to show you how you can move parcels between two different sites. Let's say that Isaac's parcels need to be moved to the labs building. Your internal courier will go to the Move tab, select Pickup, select the site where he's picking up the parcels from, and he can either scan the labels, or he can select them from the cart. And when he's done, he'll press Pickup. Those parcels will now be marked as handled. That means there's currently a person holding the parcels. And now let's say that my internal courier has arrived to the labs building. He'll select Drop Off. Again, he can either scan the labels, or he can select them from the cart. From this page, it can go one of two ways. For example, the labs room has its own package room or mail room and has its own system for delivering parcels. Then he can just select Move and then the correct building. That logs the parcels into that site. Or if he's delivering directly to the end recipient, he can select Drop Off. But since we're just moving parcels between different sites, we'll press Move. Select the site where it needs to go, and then press Confirm. Since we're still in the main mail room or the main clinical building, we won't see those parcels anymore. But if we go to the labs building, to do that, we'll go to Settings, and then switch sites. Select Laboratory and Confirm. Those parcels will now be checked in. And then Isaac can go to the laboratory's reception or package room to pick up his parcels. We still have one parcel checked in, and let's say that the internal courier needs to deliver that parcel directly to the end recipient. Again, we'll go to the Move tab, select Pickup, select the site where you're picking up the parcels from, scan the parcel or select it from the cart, press Pickup. When he reaches Albert, he'll press Drop Off. Again, scan the parcel or select it from the cart. Since he's delivering it directly to the end recipient, he'll select Drop Off. This will allow him to sign out the parcel. He can get a signature to confirm delivery. He can also add notes and a photo of the person collecting the parcel. And when that's done, he'll press Complete Checkout. That parcel will now be checked out. Next, I'll show you how to do a QR code collection. This is for when recipients will be collecting their parcels from a designated collection point. Let's go back to the lab. So again, settings, switch site, confirm. So once again, when a recipient is notified of their parcel's arrival, they'll get a QR code in their email which they can use upon collection. All they have to do is present this QR code to collection staff, and from there, staff can press the Out tab, select checkout, first scan the QR code, and then scan the parcel that they're going to collect, or you can select them from the cart. Since a QR code was used, the parcels will automatically be filtered according to that user's name. And once all the parcels have been scanned or selected, we'll press checkout. Since a QR code was used, we don't need to add a signature, but you can still totally do that if you need to. You can also add notes and again a photo of the person collecting the parcel. And when you're done, you can just press complete checkout. Those parcels will now be checked out. You can also check out parcels via the web platform, and to do that, we'll go to the Parcels tab. Look for the parcel that you want to check out and then click open. And then here, press checkout parcel. And then again, you can add notes and a signature of the person collecting the parcel, and then press collect. This will sign out the parcel. You can also facilitate self-service collections through the Parcel Tracker kiosk app. Let's say that your site has a package room for self-service collections. You'll need to assign a device with the kiosk app installed, and from there, recipients can scan their QR codes on the kiosk, select their parcels, and then sign them out. Now we're back at the web dashboard, and I want to show you guys one more thing that you can see in the Parcels tab. So let's go to Parcels, and let's open one of Isaac's parcels. On the right, you'll see a full timeline from when the parcel was initially checked in, when it was moved to the laboratory, and when it was finally signed out. Another tab that I think you'll find really helpful is our Statistics tab, so let's go to that tab. You'll see information like your peak check-in and checkout times, your top couriers, and your average parcel turnaround time. Since this is a fairly new account, we don't have a lot of data here yet, but I'll show you guys what it looks like when you've spent enough time with the software. Now I want to give you guys an example of how I would use this data to improve my mailroom operations. Let's say that my peak check-in and checkout times are between the hours of 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I can use this information to allocate more resources like extra helping hands, parcel trolleys, or I can even perform an audit around 7 a.m. to make sure that there's enough space in my mailroom for all the incoming deliveries. Average parcel turnaround time refers to the amount of time it takes for a parcel to be collected after it was signed in. If I notice that deliveries are taking too long to be collected, it may mean that I need to hire more internal couriers or identify bottlenecks in different sites that could be holding up the delivery of important equipment and supplies. Thank you for watching this video. Please let us know if you found this video helpful, which features you like best, and what features you'd like to see us add in the future. Subscribe to stay up to date, and you can find our sign up link in the description below. See you next time.